Russian airstrikes damaged buildings and completely destroyed a kindergarten playground in Ukraine's Lviv. More than 100 residential buildings have been damaged. This is in the city of Lutsk. 3 people have been killed and several have been hospitalized due to the airstrikes. Ukraine's Air Force said that it destroyed 16 out of 28 Russia-launched air and sea-based missiles. Brazil's President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva has said that only Ukraine and Russia know how to find peace. He added that the two warring countries need to be humble to sit down and talk. Lula has been trying to form a group of neutral countries to hold peace talks. He was earlier criticized for saying that Ukraine and Russia are equally responsible for the war. A fire broke out in a gas station in Russia's Dagestan region. The death toll in the incident has gone up to 30. Victims include at least 3 children. The fire started at an auto repair shop located along the highway. The UN and the US have expressed concern over the Niger junta's decision to prosecute ousted President Mohamed Bazoum over high treason. A UN spokesperson called the series of events very worrying. The US has said it is incredibly dismayed by the reports. Niger's military staged a coup late last month and dissolved the elected government and also detained Mohamed Bazoum in Niger's presidential palace. Former US President Donald Trump has been hit with another set of criminal charges. A grand jury in the US state of Georgia has issued an indictment. For a second time, Trump has been charged with making efforts to overturn the 2020 presidential election results. The 98-page indictment lists 19 defendants and 41 criminal counts. Taiwan's Vice President William Lai has arrived in Paraguay. He is set to attend President-elect Santiago Pena's swearing-in ceremony. Paraguay is one of Taiwan's few remaining allies. Taiwan's Lai is also the frontrunner to become the island's next president in elections due in January. Before reaching Paraguay, he had stopped over in New York, angering China. Police in Mexico have found the remains of at least 13 people packaged in freezers. 6 suspects have been detained in the gruesome crime. An investigation has begun to identify the victims. The incident took place in Veracruz. It's an oil-rich state along Mexico's Gulf Coast. Veracruz has been a hub for human and drug trafficking in recent years. Iran's foreign minister has said that the country is committed to resolving its nuclear dispute with world powers and through diplomacy. On August 10, Tehran and Washington reached an agreement. Under this, $6 billion in Iranian funds being held in South Korea will be unfrozen. This will happen in exchange for the release of 5 American nationals detained in Iran. However, talks between the two countries to revive the scrapped 2015 nuclear deal are still stalled. The leader of Hezbollah, which is an Iran-backed group in Lebanon, has issued a warning to Israel. Saeed Hassan Nasrallah said that Israel will go back to the Stone Age in case it attacks Lebanon. The threat comes after weeks of friction between Israel and the armed group along the Israel-Lebanon border. At least 3 people have been killed in an explosion near the city of San Cristobal in the Dominican Republic. The victims include a 4-month-old infant and 2 adults. 3 people were also injured. San Cristobal's mayor has said that authorities are working to find the cause of the fire. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi delivered his address as the country marks its 77th Independence Day. He vowed that India's economy will become the 3rd largest economy in the world in the next 5 years. He also said that India will emerge as a developed nation by the year 2047. That's when it will mark its 100th Independence Day. Japan marked the 78th anniversary of the end of the Second World War. Prime Minister Fumio Kishida and Japan's Emperor Naruhito spoke at an event. Japanese government representatives and regional leaders paid tribute to those who died in the conflict. Moving to climate, Typhoon Lan hit western Japan on Tuesday. Heavy rains and powerful winds have lashed the region. This has prompted flight cancellations and cut power supply to homes. This comes as Japan is still recovering from the destruction caused by Typhoon Kanoon. The death toll from landslides in India's northern region has risen to 50. It is expected to rise even further as more than 20 people remain trapped or missing. Footage from India's Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand states shows houses flattened by the landslides. Hundreds gathered at rescue sites as emergency workers struggled to clear the debris. Experts say that global climate change likely set the stage for the deadly wildfires in the US state of Hawaii. The fires have claimed the lives of nearly 100 people so far. Experts say that although global climate change is not the direct cause of the fire, it did contribute to creating the conditions for it. They say it's because of climate change that the flames spread so quickly with such deadly results. Wildfires have been raging across Canada's Northwest Territories. Various communities have been evacuated as the fires threatened to close highways. Forest fires have engulfed parts of nearly all 13 Canadian provinces and territories this year. This has forced home evacuations and disrupted energy production across the country. Last month, that's July, was the hottest July on record. This is according to an assessment by America's National Aeronautics and Space Administration, or NASA. NASA also said that 2023 could end up becoming the warmest year since record keeping began in the mid-1800s. Residents of the northeastern Syrian city of Osaka are grappling with a severe water crisis. Changing weather conditions and the recent lack of rainfall have negatively impacted the water level at wells. This has left people dependent on expensive water tankers or contaminated well water. Osaka residents have described the current water situation as a quote-unquote humanitarian catastrophe. Lakes and coastal lagoons in the North African country of Tunisia are parched and overheating. Yarana Lagoon, just outside the country's capital of Tunis, has been left dry and cracked. This has disrupted the routine of the vast flocks of migrating birds. They use the wetlands as a way station between Africa and Europe. Reports say British households installed a record number of solar panels and heat pumps in the first half of the year. Reports show there were more green energy installations in June than in previous years. On average, more than 17,000 households installed solar panels every month this year. Moving to business, Russia's central bank has hiked its key interest rate by 350 basis points to 12%. The central bank took the emergency move to try and halt the ruble's recent slide. Its extraordinary rate meeting came after the ruble plummeted past the 100 threshold against the dollar on Monday. China's central bank has unexpectedly cut interest rates. This is the second time in 3 months. Analysts say China's tumbling credit growth and rising deflation risks in July have forced the added monetary easing measures. China has said it will stop releasing youth unemployment data from the month of August. This is according to a spokesperson from China's Statistical Bureau. The country's official youth unemployment rate tracks data for people between the ages of 16 and 24. In June, this number rose to a record 21.3%. South Africa is grappling with a record unemployment rate of nearly 33%. That's more than half of the country's young people are jobless. This has resulted in rising levels of poverty and inequality. It has reportedly fueled crime and drug use among young people. Experts have warned that this is a time bomb that has the potential to cause political instability. Tesla has introduced a new standard range of Model S and Model X cars in the US. These are the cheaper than These are rather cheaper versions than the other versions of the S and X models. Tesla's move comes shortly after it slashed the prices of some of its vehicles in China. Since last year, Tesla has been cutting the prices of its vehicles across continents in a bid to boost sales. According to reports, Boeing has emerged as a front-runner in securing an order from the Indian airline Indigo. The order is for 25 wide-body planes. Indigo is in talks to buy Boeing's 787 family of twin-aisle aircraft. This comes as the airline seeks to expand internationally with new destinations. David Limp is planning to retire from Amazon in the coming months. Limp is a 13-year veteran at the e-commerce giant and the chief of Amazon's devices unit. He was responsible for products like the Amazon Echo lineup. Limp's retirement will mark one of the major exits at Amazon since Andy Jassy took over as the company's CEO in 2021. Young Liu, the chairman of Taiwanese chipmaker Foxconn, has said that the company's investments in India could just be beginning. He said this while speaking at an investor conference call after announcing the company's second quarter results. Liu had earlier said that Foxconn is looking at India as a vital market and manufacturing hub. He had said that the company planned to invest over $2 billion in the country over the next 5 years. Sam Bankman-Fried is headed to Brooklyn jail. The jail is infamous for its poor conditions. Previous inmates like convicted sex trafficker Ghislaine Maxwell and Honduras's former president have complained of the jail's poor environment. Bankman-Fried is being sent to pre-trial detention after his bail was revoked due to witness tampering. This comes ahead of his fraud trial that's scheduled for October 2nd. Reports say Russia has fined social media site Reddit more than $20 million. This is for not deleting what Moscow assumes quote-unquote banned content from its platform. Russia says that the content had fake information about its military campaign in Ukraine. Moving to sports, in cricket, South Africa have announced their squad for the upcoming cricket series with Australia. Uncapped batter Dewald Brevis has been included in the South African team. The 19-year-old will earn his first international cap for the Proteas this month. South Africa will host Australia for a 3-match T20 series from the 30th of August. In football, Spain beat Sweden 2-1 to enter the Women's World Cup final. The match was scoreless in the first half, but the fireworks began 10 minutes before the final whistle. 3 goals were scored within a span of 8 minutes. Spain opened their tally in the 81st minute. Sweden equalized in the 88th minute. Then, defender Olga Carmona scored in the 89th minute to seal the victory for Spain. Manchester United beat Wolverhampton Wanderers 1-0 in yesterday's Premier League match. The match was played at Old Trafford. The game was scoreless in the first half, but in the second half, Rafael Varane scored for the Red Devils with a header in the 76th minute. Manchester United next play Tottenham Hotspur on Saturday. In La Liga, Atletico Madrid beat Granada 3-1 in yesterday's match. Alvaro Morata scored for Atletico 4 minutes into first half injury time. In the second half, Granada equalized in the 62nd minute. Just 5 minutes later, Memphis Depay scored a long-distance screamer to give Atletico the lead. Then Atletico's Marcos Llorente scored 8 minutes into the second half injury time to seal the victory. In the Saudi Pro League, Al Ittifaq beat Al Nassr 2-1 in yesterday's match. This was the opener of the season. Sadio Mane scored in the 4th minute to give Al Nassr an early lead. Al Ittifaq came back with 2 goals in the second half to win the match. Captain Cristiano Ronaldo missed out on the season opener for his club Al Nassr. He is currently suffering from a knee injury. In tennis, Nicholas Jarry advanced to the second round at the Cincinnati Masters. The tournament is played in the mid-western US city of Cincinnati. Chile's Jari lost the first set to Russia's Roman Safiullin 6-4. Then, Jari came back to win the next two sets 6-3 and 6-3. He will next play his match tomorrow. Meanwhile, Venus Williams also reached the second round at the Cincinnati Masters. The American veteran beat world number 16 Veronika Kudermetova 6-4 and 7-5 in straight sets. This is the first major win for Williams in the last 4 years. She will play her next match tomorrow. In hockey, the Indian men's team is now ranked world number 3. This is after they beat Malaysia 4-3 to clinch the Asian Champions Trophy last Saturday. India now just trail second-placed Belgium and the Netherlands, who top the men's hockey rankings. In basketball, James Harden has cut ties with his current team, the Philadelphia 76ers. Harden accused the president of the 76ers, that's Daryl Morey, of being a liar. Harden says, and I quote, "I will never be part of an organization that Daryl Morey is a part of." This comes just days after the 76ers offered a contract extension to Harden. With the new contract, Harden would have earned over $36 million. Now he'll become a free agent. The US National Basketball League, or NBA, inducted 3 European legends into its Hall of Fame. These are Dirk Nowitzki, Tony Parker and Pau Gasol. The 3 European players are now part of the 2023 Hall of Fame class. Meanwhile, longtime coach of the San Antonio Spurs, Greg Popovich, was also inducted into the Hall of Fame. Moving on to entertainment, former American footballer Michael Oher, subject of the movie The Blind Side, has filed a petition alleging that the Toe family lied about adopting him. He alleges that 3 months after he turned 18 in 2004, the family falsely advised him to sign a document that made them his conservators. This gave them the legal power to complete business deals in Oher's name. The Blind Side came out in the year 2009. Stranger Things star Millie Bobby Brown appears to be ready to bid adieu to the beloved character Eleven. Brown recently told a magazine that she thinks she is ready for a curtain call. She said, and I quote, "It has been such a huge factor in part of my life. It's like graduating high school." Brown was only 11 years old when she was cast in the first season of Stranger Things. American comedian Tracy Morgan has admitted that he is using Ozempic in his weight loss journey. Morgan revealed that while he goes to the gym every morning, the type 2 diabetes drug also helped him slim down. His fellow comedian Chelsea Handler also opened up about her experience with Ozempic. Handler said the drug was prescribed to her without her realizing it. Twilight star Taylor Lautner has shared his feelings on seeing paparazzi photos of himself. Lautner said he came across 2 sets of pictures that showed him walking out of a grocery store. He revealed that he felt very good about one of the pictures, while the other made him feel horrible. He said, and I quote, "The impact that it has on my opinion of myself is scary because I know I am worth so much more than that." Beyoncé has extended support to singer Lizzo. This was during a Renaissance concert in Atlanta. Beyoncé sent a shout out to Lizzo. The singer was recently accused of sexual harassment and creating a toxic work environment. Lizzo also faced a lawsuit brought by her former dancers. Singer Selena Gomez celebrated her co-star Steve Martin's birthday. As a tribute, Gomez shared an Instagram story highlighting some of her favorite moments with the actor. Gomez and Martin became best friends while working on the show Only Murders in the Building. Suzanne Mackie, the executive producer of the show The Crown, has said that she will probably never work on a 10-year project again. Mackie has worked on The Crown since its inception about 11 years ago. She has also revealed that the decision to change the cast every 2 seasons was made very early on. Sitcom Full House actor Ashley Olsen has welcomed her first child with husband Louis Einer. This comes a year after the couple tied the knot in an intimate ceremony in Los Angeles. The couple had been reportedly dating since 2017. Young and the Restless star Eric Braeden is officially cancer-free. The 82-year-old German actor was seen portraying Victor Newman on the soap opera for over 4 decades. He opened up about his diagnosis in April. He said that he wanted to go public about cancer to help people not be fearful of it. And finally, American film producer Clarence Avant has died at the age of 92. He died on Sunday at his home in Los Angeles. Avant was the subject of a 2019 Netflix documentary called The Black Godfather. He was not a household name, but was seen as a silent but mighty presence in Hollywood.